Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's, holy cow, it's Friday, May the 1st.
Friday.
It's May Day. You going to do any May Day baskets?
I love May Day. Probably not. I don't have any kids here.
We used to do that all the time.
Yeah,
National
every
Loyalty
year.
Day. Loyalty Day is a day where they have like parades and stuff sometimes. So I don't know if they're doing Loyalty Day parades anymore. It's also National Mother Goose Day. National Chocolate Parfait Day.
Everybody likes parfaits.
Mm-hmm. Law Day, School Principals Day, Silver Star Service Banner Day, National Space Day, and School Lunch Hero Day.
School lunch
Yeah.
hero.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that means hero like the sub-hero or if that's like an
yeah, I
actual
suppose.
hero.
I don't know.
Either way, my guest for today is Shari Rigby. Super excited to visit with her. We talked to her on the program before when the movie Overcomer was coming out. And it's funny, I actually have a copy of that on DVD sitting right over here. We should give that away on our Facebook
We
page
should
today.
give that away today.
Because I gave it away one other time, and then the person that won it, when I reached out to get the address, they said, you know what, give that away to somebody else. And then I haven't done that yet. It's still sitting here. So we will do that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Study by the Florida Atlantic University found that fun children, keep in mind, Heidi, I'm saying it here, fun children are more popular on the playground than less outgoing children.
Do you think so?
Who is paying for that study? What? Did they seriously? They're like, okay, I got some money to blow, so let's just do a study on this.
You just gotta wonder sometimes.
Fun
you know?
children are more popular on the playground than less outgoing children.
I'm so glad they did that study.
I don't
wondered my whole life.
how long it took to do that, but I feel as though a refund is necessary.
Wow.
That's surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. I want to remind you that when we share these stories about people who do silly things under the influence, it's not because we're making fun of the person. We're not even really making fun of the addiction, because addiction is no laughing matter. We just want to maybe draw attention to it. So if you or someone you know needs help, you can get the help you need. Again, the website, TimeForRehab.com, has some ideas for you. Police in Spain arrested a burglar. There was a suspect. We'll have to say suspect because, you know, they get a trial. But it's a suspect who was accused of breaking into a bar. He was easy to catch because when they got there, he was passed out. He got drunk and fell asleep on the couch. Is he still a suspect or is he a burglar?
On a couch in a bar?
Yeah, he fell asleep on a couch in the bar.
All right.
So, I don't know. It's a bizarre story. But you know what, Heidi? That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. ESPN's ratings for the Michael Jordan documentary came out like a week ago now. It's been a little while. I've had this story for a while. It's like a week, maybe a little over a week even. The ratings were much higher than they expected.
Okay.
So a lot of people wanted to watch that. Or maybe there was just nothing else on. Or maybe people were just bored and looking for something to watch.
Maybe.
But either way, the ratings were really, really good. Good Morning America anchor George Stephanopoulos says that he's been cleared of the coronavirus after being tested for antibodies, which is really good.
Okay.
Netflix has added 16 million subscribers during the COVID lockdown. So 16
I'm sure
million.
they have.
Think
yeah.
about how many people are really watching because there's so
I
many
know
people.
everybody share a password.
Well, we don't do that. We've got our own. I'm not sure. Is it my account or your account? Whose account is it?
Your account.
My account? So I don't know. How much do I pay for that? Do we know?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. We should probably know these things. Maybe we should get rid of that. We've been watching way too many shows. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. A study says most yogurt is not as healthy as we think it is.
I know, there's lots of sugar in it.
There are people that are going, I'm on a diet, I'm
Yep,
going to load
I'm
up on
gonna eat
yogurt.
yogurt.
And then it's like, yeah, that's
Yep.
not the right thing, maybe. Maybe not. Let me see what I got here. We don't usually talk politics, but I thought this was interesting. 3 of the candidates vying for governor in Utah. Okay. One of them, Nikki Ray Pino, announced an eye-raising candidate to be the person that's running with them for lieutenant governor.
Sure.
His father.
Oh.
So Nikki Ray Pino Sr. I just thought that was kind of
that's
interesting. So
interesting.
we're not talking about it because it's politics, but it was just because it was,
Right.
I don't know, it's kind of cool. So like I'm running for governor and my running mate, my dad.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
interesting.
That's really kind of cool. Music streaming service Spotify pinpointed the age that midlife crises happen, at least in music. That age, by the way, is 42. How did they come up with that? Well, the crack staff there at Spotify, they analyzed the data, and they found that users, when they hit the age 42, that is when they drop their usual playlist, which usually contains hits from their youth, like music they've listened to their whole life, and they start listening to today's hits. They're like, you know what? I need to listen to the new young stuff because I'm not old. So, I don't know. Do you agree with any of that?
No.
Me neither. So, I don't know where that came from, but either way. New York City Taylor is open for business in defiance of the state's lockdown orders. So, they're like, you know what? I'm coming in to sew stuff. So I don't know.
I don't understand how that's in defiance.
I don't
mean,
know.
Clearly, it's usually one person who just drops something up, and then you're working on that
I'm
one
not sure.
thing.
And I don't know how that became a national story, but there it is. And Billy Joel is in the news, being accused. This is a weird story.
Yeah, you mentioned this.
And this
to
is,
me the
again,
other
from
day.
like, I don't know, a couple days, maybe a week ago, whatever it is. But Billy Joel is being sued by a Long Island architect who claims the Piano Man gave his custom renovation plans to another builder who then completed the job. That's not good. I've actually heard of that happening more than once.
Yeah.
Where somebody will say, nah, we've decided to do something different. And then they do that, but they just have somebody different do
Right.
it. You're like, well, don't do that.
No, that's not right.
I sure hope he didn't really do that, but you never know. And one of my favorite stories, again, we don't talk politics, but this one's another political story, but it's just so funny. A Texas mayor was forced to apologize after she broke her own lockdown order because she had to stop by the salon. And she's like, oh, yeah, well, you guys shouldn't be doing this, but okay, I'm sorry.
Let them eat cake.
Yes. And then one last story. The national debt is now closing in on $25 trillion with a T, $trillion, which is a scary, scary
That's
number.
extremely scary.
It is. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Very excited to visit with Shari Rigby. She's in the movie Overcomer, so we've had a chance to talk to her in the past when that movie was coming out, but we're talking to her today about something different. She's got a new book that just came out yesterday. It's called Consider the Lilies. Shari, how you doing?
I'm I'm good. Thank you for having me today on the show, John.
Absolutely. Super excited to chat. Now, it's called Consider the Lilies. Get rooted in your destiny by discovering God's plan. So let's talk about the book and where you came up with the idea to put this together.
The practical tools that I've put in place in this book, I've been using those tools for myself for about 10 years here in Hollywood. And when I came to Hollywood, I was really trying to figure out how to navigate this big plan that God had for me. And really what I found was that I needed to really press into the Word of God. And I needed to make that my priority. I needed to make Him my passion. And I needed to be reminded that He truly was my purpose. You know, no matter what title I had, no matter what I was doing in my life, He was first and foremost my purpose. And so as the time went on, God just really started to impress upon me these practical tools that I put into place. Everything from making sure that my devotional time was set every day and, you know, really digging into the Word, looking for His promises, making sure that my identity was intact. Why was I doing what I was doing? Was I seeking His will first or my desire? There's so many things that He was starting to share with me. And so what I've done in these last 10 years in doing ministry in my home and with women and mentoring them, these are the same practical tools that I've been using. So I wanted to share that with others. And I thought I feel like it's the perfect time for this book to come out.
I know there are a lot of people right now who have a little more time on their hands to actually do some reading. So it's a great time for people to be able to pick this up and actually read the thing.
The great thing with this particular book, and my hope is that it's a book that will go hand in hand with their Bible and also their journal. And so it really will be something that they will utilize on a regular basis, that they can get in, read it, and that will really promote and inspire them to get back into their Bible, to really start setting time aside to discover what God has in His Word. You know, He says over and over again, I have a plan for you. And I think it's such a perfect time to seek Him. And, you know, with so many changes in the world, to jobs, whatever that might look like, people believe that they're lost, or maybe they've even lost their purpose. They think again. But what I hope this book does is it reminds them they can't lose their purpose. They just need to lean into the Lord. He is their purpose, and He will guide their steps. And He has a plan, and so He may be redirecting them right now. But I think it's a great time for people to pick this up, and hopefully they'll continue to utilize it for a long time to come.
Now, last time you and I spoke, it was right before the movie Overcomer came out, and since then it's been in theaters. Now it's out on DVD, and it's done very, very well. And people are streaming this movie like crazy right now as well.
What an incredible movie. And, you know, talking about identity and even tying into this book, in fact, the Kendrick brothers read the book. There's a stamp on the book from the feature film, and they've given their stamp of approval for this book. But, you know, the identity process and what Overcomer really did for so many was to remind them that they are a child of God and to identify first and foremost with their Savior. And I love the inspiration in that movie. And with people right now, people need to be reminded of that. They need to be reminded that they are loved, they are worthy, they are cherished, and that God will never leave them nor forsake them. And I think it's such an inspirational movie. I hope people are downloading, streaming it, and they're watching it over and over again. And it is the perfect movie for a family, and you will laugh, cry, you'll be on your feet. In fact, I have to say, maybe I'm biased, but I think it is one of the Kendrick brothers' best movies.
I agree with you. I think it was fantastic. They've done an amazing job. And in addition to Overcomer, you're also in the movie October Baby, The Least of These, Not Today, Wildflower. What is it like being a Christian actress in Hollywood in 2020?
That's such a great question. I think for me, being an actress here right now, it's even more imperative than ever. You know, I believe that God brought me here in 2009, and He put me on the battlefield. And I really do believe that I am here. I am on the battlefield. But what I have watched God do is He is really refocusing His people that are here to be reminded of who they are. And I love being here. I love the people who are involved at the Dream Center. I see people really on fire for God here too, and I know the people that God has called here, they are doing all that they can do to make sure that they point themselves, their career, and others towards Christ first. I love being here. I love working on the projects that He's put me in. I just can't even imagine being in any other place.
Consider the Lilies. Get rooted in your destiny by discovering God's plan. It's available now. Just came out yesterday, and Shari Rigby is the author, and we've got a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Bill Gates has donated half of his fortune, or real close to it. Microsoft founder Bill Gates encourages people. He does this thing called a giving pledge. It's a notion that if you are fortunate enough, you should be giving about half of your wealth to those in need, people who need it more than you do. Okay. As of 2013, he had donated $28 billion and saved around 6 million lives by bringing vaccines and other healthcare things to people in far reaches of the world. So that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And I know there's people that are not fans of the guy, and I'll probably have somebody send me a message on Facebook because I had shared something not too long ago about Bill Gates, and boy, was I schooled.
I'm not a fan, but
here's the thing I got to say. Even if I'm not a fan, if he's doing something good, you want to say, that's cool. Do good stuff. So there you go. That's today's fun fact.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline, England. I love this. In the UK, a blind man was busted after police spotted his car on the wrong side of the road. He was being guided by somebody who was in the passenger seat who had lost their license. What?
Oh, that is such a bad
okay,
idea.
I can't drive, but he can. No, he can't have a license. How would he have a license?
That is such a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. It would have been better for you to just be in the driver's seat, even if you don't have a license, than saying, I have my blind friend drive.
Oh, man.
There's nothing about
the blind guy didn't have a license either, right?
That's what I'm saying. Terrible idea. This has been a news headline from somewhere in this world.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. According to a court filing, an ex-con arrested for allegedly hitting and choking his girlfriend told Florida police that he wasn't attacking her. He was demonstrating, quote, how I was previously arrested for domestic battery. Police say that William Shoemaker, I don't know how you say it exactly. He's 36. He's a convicted felon. Repeatedly choked his girlfriend of 2 years around her throat with both hands. The alleged attack took place Sunday afternoon in a parking lot at a convenience store. Right. He said spontaneously, he stated, I was showing her how I was previously arrested for domestic battery. The purported demonstration, cops noted, left multiple red marks on her neck, consistent with handprints. He was arrested for domestic battery by strangulation, a felony for which he's locked up in lieu of $50,000 bond. Judge ordered him to have no contact with the victim. So, bad idea, period. Today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. A South Euclid, Ohio man is apparently getting a little swerve on. Listen to what's going on here. His girlfriend knocks on the door. Meanwhile, his mistress is in the bedroom with him.
Oh, no.
He came up with a not very good plan, which was already a not very good plan to have a girlfriend and a mistress. So he's thinking, okay, I'm not answering the door. I'm calling the police.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. 28-year-old man reported somebody's attempting to break into my home. Police arrive. They find a woman, says,
oh, boy.
I'm at my boyfriend's house. And they go, well, he's the one that called the police. Well, they go inside. And he explains to them, hey, I got a woman hiding in my closet.
Oh my
Can
gosh.
you guys do me a solid and like sneak her out the back door?
Yeah, no, that's not what we're here for, dude.
Anyway, that's not what they did.
No.
What they did instead is
Snuck him right out the front door.
charged him with making false alarms. No word on whether the girlfriend or the mistress
Yikes.
are going to see him in jail, but I'm guessing probably not. That was today's moment of duh.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. It's at this point in the program, we read a little story here, a little headline, and Heidi has to tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it hashtag fake news made up just to trick her and amuse me? Are you ready for this one, Heidi?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm not, but now I am. All right, fake news or Florida? A Tampa man told police that he should not get a DUI because he, quote, only drank White Claws, end quote. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say Florida.
No, it's fake news.
Oh.
I think somebody made this one specifically for you, by the way, because you were making fun of somebody drinking White Claws.
Because they're ridiculous.
Well, have you ever had one?
Yes, they taste ridiculous.
So it's not for you, is what you're
No.
saying. So there was a story the other
It's
day
like
where
Zima in a can.
there
They're,
was this-
they're horrible.
Just stop while you're ahead. Don't make even more people mad. There's somebody's like, what's wrong with Zima? No, you got the Zima people mad and the White Claw people mad.
Are there still Zima people?
There's Zima people. There's new Coke people. They're like, I can't wait till they bring that back. So anyway, the other day there was a story about a guy who did something wrong and then he was drinking Zima. Oh, when he robbed a bank.
Yeah, I said he lost all street cred
Yeah.
when he brought out the White Claw.
So I think this was sent specifically for you and you botched it. But this has been fake news or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of hashtag gift card challenge. By the way, huge thank you to everybody who's doing that. If you want to know all the details, you can find them at giftcardchallenge.org. Now, I don't know if you remember the story. I'm sure you do, because it was a really cool story. Captain Tom Moore. He's the guy who turned 100 years old, but before turning 100 years old, he wanted to raise some money for Britain's National Health Service.
yeah.
So
I
he
remember
did laugh.
this
You know
guy.
how much money he raised, by the way?
How much?
$34 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And he just got, for his 100th birthday, 125,000 birthday cards.
Oh,
How cool is that?
I love that.
There were a lot of people that wanted to just send a special note to say, you know what, that was an inspiration to see you. He wasn't running to set some world speed record by any means. He was shuffling around, but he walked laps and raised, again, a lot of money, $34 million. He
That's
made
fantastic.
100 laps around his garden to raise money for healthcare workers. And he said he was hoping his mission would raise 1,000 pounds. So, that's what he was
he definitely
turned into
exceeded that.
much, much better deal.
That's
and he was
so
just so
great.
happy with them because they had recently he got a new hip from them. And when he had gotten his new hip, he said, I just felt young and spry. And I, was so happy that they were able to help me. So it got posted online where people were saying, hey, you guys know what? You should do something nice for him. Here's his address. You can send off a card.
Aww.
And people did. 125,000 cards later.
That's sweet.
And some of these cards are from celebrities, Heidi.
Ooh.
So there's some really cool people. I'm scrolling through to see if I can find anybody that we know. I'm like, I don't know.
If it's in English, we're not.
You know that one fella and that British chap. So no, it's really, really cool stuff. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.